Okay, so picture this. Every single humming data center across the globe suddenly just goes silent. Thousands of miles of glowing fiber optic cables instantly go dark. There's no warning, no massive power grid failure, just an absolute instantaneous wipe of every hard drive, solid-state drive, and cloud server on Earth. Every line of code, every digital record, literally every single byte of data is just gone. Today, we're going to map out exactly what the first few hours of this terrifying and honestly highly plausible digital void would actually look like.
Welcome to the Explainer on the Great Deletion, Surviving a Zero Data World. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down the exact chronological sequence of a total digital collapse. From that initial shockwave to the massive void left behind. We rarely stop to think about the invisible web of code holding our modern reality together, right? We just expect servers to keep spinning and databases to keep loading. But what actually happens when that abstract foundation completely evaporates?
0 bytes. That's what we'd be left with. To put that in perspective, right now, we generate over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every single day. Trillions of gigabytes pulsing through networks in fractions of a second. But in this scenario, that vast ocean of information instantly drops to 0. And we're not talking about a temporary glitch or a localized server outage here. This is the permanent erasure of our global digital footprint. Screens fade to black, network indicators flash red, and those massive cooling fans in data centers are suddenly chilling completely empty drives.
Which brings us to Phase 1, economic and structural collapse.
The very first shockwave hits the absolute core of our global infrastructure. Think about it. Over 90% of modern money isn't physical cash anymore. It exists purely as digital ledgers, just ones and zeros, sitting in encrypted banking servers. So when those servers wipe, 100% of that global wealth evaporates instantly. Surviving bank records? 0%. There are no backup files. There's no transaction history left to prove who owns what. Trillions of dollars don't just lose their value. They literally cease to exist. The entire economic structure just vaporizes in a single millisecond.
And this cascading failure is ruthlessly fast. At T+0 seconds, as those financial ledgers wipe, global markets freeze into a state of permanent error. Literally 1 hour later, at T+1 hour, massive cloud architectures collapse. The interconnected systems running our power grids, automating supply chains, and routing global logistics, they all crash because they simply have no data to process. Fast forward to T+24 hours, and the structural integrity of nations dissolves. Government archives, land registries, legal codes, identification databases, all entirely gone. The operating system of modern civilization is completely uninstalled. This level of paralysis fractures society from the top down. Look at the government sector. Critical information is lost instantly. That means municipal systems, emergency routing, and infrastructural blueprints are totally corrupted or just completely empty. Meanwhile, the business cloud suffers a total collapse. The vast digital ecosystems that global corporations rely on to manufacture and distribute goods are absolutely shattered. Automated factories grind to a halt. Massive warehouses with robotic sorting systems just freeze in place, completely stripped of their digital nervous systems.
Now, let's look at Phase 2, a world without history.
As the dust settles on the physical infrastructure, the true cultural cost really starts to set in. Because it's not just the economy running on servers, our entire modern memory is digital. Every major internet platform turns into an empty shell. Communication history? Deleted. Billions of emails, texts, and encrypted messages erased, leaving these massive networks broadcasting nothing but pure static. Everything from medical records to global entertainment media and digital art archives simply dissolves. The physical server wrecks are still sitting there, but they hold absolutely nothing. It's a staggering contrast. Yesterday, we had exabytes of global connection. Today, disconnected silence. Just 24 hours prior, fiber optic cables stretching under the oceans were glowing with the constant transfer of global knowledge and art. Now, those exact same cables are nothing more than dark glass tubes. Our hyper-connected, high-speed era is abruptly terminated, and it's replaced by this glitching, fragmented silence. It's a profound, planetary-scale isolation.
Moving right into Phase 3, navigating the dark age.
This new dark age translates into some incredibly severe physical consequences. With GPS and satellite navigation totally offline, cargo ships the size of small cities are suddenly drifting out there without digital maps. Global supply chains completely locked down. But actually, it's way worse than just getting lost. See, GPS satellites don't just provide directions. Their onboard atomic clocks provide the precise microsecond timing needed to synchronize global power grids and financial timestamps. So without that signal,
regional power grids desynchronize and physically fail. We'd be plunged into literal physical darkness alongside the digital one.
So what does recovery look like? Well, it's incredibly grueling. Step 1 is dealing with the complete system blackout, that instantaneous drop to zero. This immediately triggers Step 2, widespread information paralysis. With logistics and structural systems sitting completely dormant, unable to compute anything, we are forced into Step 3, analog rebuilding efforts. It's that stark realization that the digital magic is gone for good. The only way forward is to piece together foundational infrastructure using methods we thought we'd abandoned over a century ago.
Which leads us to Phase 4, the ultimate analog adaptation. The only real path forward here is adaptation, meaning a forced reversion to physical infrastructure and analog record-keeping just to ensure survival. In a zero-data world, those massive empty data centers would have to be gutted and repurposed as physical filing vaults. Think about it. Printing presses, manual typewriters, and mechanical calculators suddenly become the absolute pinnacle of essential technology. The invisible, frictionless efficiency of code gets completely replaced by the heavy, slow reality of paper, ink, and mechanical gears. Society's entire structural pivot shifts entirely back to the tangible.
It really brings us to this thought. We built our entire existence on a foundation of invisible code, only to realize how fragile that foundation truly was. It's an incredibly stark reminder of our absolute dependence on data. So, as you look away from your screen today, maybe take a second to consider the silent, invisible systems processing literally every aspect of your daily life. What would you actually do if, tomorrow, they all just dropped to zero? Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.